I just love that music. I just want to kind of play that intro music the whole time. It's awesome. Hello, how is everybody doing? Melly, Laura Ann, thank you so much. How are you guys doing today? Thank you for joining us on this live and for tuning into Amy's Inspiration Station. And today we are talking all about thankfulness. And I know it's kind of like, really, Amy? I thought in America that was for Thanksgiving, but I kind of like this time of the year. There's a lot of gift giving going on, and there's going to be thank you cards. And so I like to take this time to reflect on my year and think about all the things that I'm grateful for. And that's what I wanted to do today, was to share that thankfulness with you, to say thank you, audience, for tuning in, and to say thank you to Altenew for providing us this platform. And thank you so much for this lovely, lovely craft making community, card making community that we have. And I absolutely love it. So Laura Ann, thank you so much for sharing. And you too could be like Laura Ann, and you could win a $15 gift card. Angel is behind the badge today. So huge hello and shout out to Angel. And Deb, you are sub-freezing Denton, Texas. That is coming my way up in the Northeast, except I heard that we are not getting any snow, where it's going to be rain. It's going to be 50 degrees on here. And Laura Ann, thank you for your question. Good question. Our Altenew service team, the customer service team, is fabulous. If you head over to the website, you can click on them, email them, and they are very, very responsive. And Mono and Hughes, happy holidays from the Philippines. And hi, Candy from Washington State. So I would love to know, you're thankful. Are you thankful for are you sending thank you cards? Do you have a whole stash? And that's what I want to do today, is actually we're going to make some thank you cards from start to finish, including the inside of the cards. Because I know a lot of times on our channel, we just kind of work on the outside, but I actually wanted to do the inside of the cards. All right, Deb, and you had light blowing sideways snow. Oh, it's going to go. All right. And thank you so much, Mono and Hughes, for sharing this. Again, if you share this live and let us know where while we're live, you'll be entered to win a $15 gift card. And Angel is behind the badge today, and she will be monitoring that and putting some links up in the chat. And hi, Inger from Sweden, talking about snow. We got something coming across the United States. I think they're calling it a bomb cyclone this time. So it's so nice to see you guys. I'm going to go ahead and turn down because I'm going to try to get through 2 complete projects today, and I'm going for it. So let's see how we do. Let me know questions in the chat, and I would love to know who you or what you are thankful for this year. So again, we're making some thank you cards start to finish today. All right, so I'm at my desk checking in with everybody. Hi, CC from Sweden. Oh, Vicky, thank you much for sharing this. And Deb, I know the insides of the cards. It's the thing we always forget, isn't it? Or at least sometimes I kind of get so focused on the outside that I don't always think about the inside. So I am focusing on, I know I got this is all my pile of goodies, guys. Pile of goodies. This is what we're playing with today. I got hiding my pile of goodies. I'm playing with the All About Thanks word die set. And I love this because these are big and small. You can see that we have these sizes here. And what's nice is that you have this thin one that you can use by itself, and you also have this thick one, and you can layer these on top of each other to build this. And you can add sending or give or giving in order to build it together. So I think I like that. Hey, Roxy. All right. Hi, Dorothy. And Vicky, thank you for having the faith in me today. I can do it. And Stamp the Fun Up. Oh my gosh, Mid-Michigan. I know it's coming my way. I think I have to drive in it tomorrow. So I don't know. All right. So we are talking thanks today. I want to know thankful. Who are you thankful for? What are you thankful for? And are you somebody, do you like have gift thank you cards at the ready? What is it that you like to do? And we are, if I get my time right, we're going to make thank you cards from start to finish. So the first thing we're going to do is, because we have this really neat die set, I want to make backgrounds for that. So I'm going to make 2 different backgrounds today using some different products. And the first background that I'm going to make is using some ink sprays. And I apologize to Angel in the back because I was kind of waiting to see what I was going to be inspired in terms of colors today for that. So I'll throw in those ink sprays in just a second, Angel. Oh my gosh, thanks, Roxy, for sharing this. And you too can be like Roxy and be entered to win a $15 gift card to Altenew if you share this live while we are live. And while I am trying my best to pull out a piece of watercolor paper here, and I'm going to explain why I'm doing this in just a second, I just want to remind you that if you have not signed up already, the mindfulness retreat is in March, and we are doing this sign up where if you sign up earlier, there's an early bird sign up, and I think there's like 3 different times that each time it's the price goes up just a tiny bit. So you want to make sure that we get there in there. And Angel, can we put the link for the March mindfulness retreat in there just to remind everybody? Oh my gosh. And stamp the fun up. Blank card holder. Yes, that's right. I like the fact. That's good. You can't, that's it. Oh, and I love hearing what you guys are thankful for. Closeness and 3 Grandlings. Oh my gosh, that's so nice, Deb, that you actually get an opportunity to craft with them. That's great. I'm going to do some crafting with my niece over Christmas, which is really super nice. So I'm kind of inspired today by some greens and blues. So I'm going to pull out a couple of colors. So I have Lagoon here, which is really, really great. And I'm also going to grab some sea glass. And I love mixing this with antique silver. So I'm going to mix these today. And just for fun, I think I'm going to throw in a little bit of this frayed leaf. So you can see I have a little bit of coolness going on here. Hi, Serena. Thank you for sharing this. And oh, Dorothy, it's so, yes, isn't it great? I love friends and family. And I have to say, I love the community that is built and that Altenew has worked so hard on building, that we can be here together and craft. And even just if you're hanging out and just listening to me and be like, okay, hopefully I inspire you in something as an, oh my gosh, stamp the fun up. Yes, sea glass, go to winter color. I love it because you can pair it with a ton of stuff. Now you can see that I'm doing my best to protect my workspace, and because I'm live, I'm in like a very kind of narrow location, and I'm using watercolor paper because I want to get this sucker wet. And I'm going to use the Mr. I just have some water in this, and this is just to kind of get this started. And I don't even care that there was a little bit of boogers there, not a problem. So I'm just going to get that water wet. I'm just going to use the water to get my paper wet. And I'm going to go ahead, stamp the fun up. I am going to see how this sea glass looks. And hi, Saskia. I know you're going to. Check this out. I know we did this the other day on Saturday, but I just loved how they all came out. Isn't that color just delicious? Oh my gosh, let's just take a moment to check that out. Gorgeous. And because I have some of that water where it's nice and wet, that's going to run. Where I don't have the water, I'm going to get these nice bold spots. And that even just looks pretty right on its own. Aren't they fun, Serena? I love using the sprays. Oh my gosh, and Dorothy, I'm glad you're doing some crafting with Altenew today. Maybe you're crafting along with us. Hi, Tracy. I hope you're doing okay down there and you're not getting too cold. I heard it's going to be cold down there. Lagoon, I'm going to add a little lagoon. Now, I like some of the things that I have going on here, and I'm going to mess up. So I'm kind of thinking about this in quadrants. And I don't necessarily, my whole piece of paper is going to be a mess, right? And I'm only going to select pieces that I want, which is why I don't really care why it's super great all over the place. So I'm just going to add this lagoon up in the corner if I can. This is my first time using it, so I had to prime it a little. Oh, that's gorgeous. So that's just adding a little bit of darkness to it. And I want to add a little bit more water here. So I'm going to grab my Mr. and just really start to activate those guys. Oh, yeah, that's looking nice. Okay. I'm going to add in this guy, which is frayed leaf. So, oh my gosh, Sue, that is a good thank you. I love that. That's a great thing to be thankful for when you're getting a hug from your grandson. So down in the 20s. I know, Tracy, I heard about that. That's kind of crazy. All right, I'm going to go up in here. I want to make this a little green. Oops. Let's see how that goes up. There we go. Ooh, I like that. And what's fun about this again is I'm just messing this up. I'm just going nuts here. All right, so I added in some sea glass spray. I added in some Lagoon spray, and this one is frayed leaf. Oh, Vicky, just you wait. This is what we're getting through. Is my pile of goodies. All right. Now I need this to get, I want to add a little bit more contrast, and I'm going to do that two ways. This is antique silver. So these are a little different. These have metallic shimmer, and I do like them for that, but this is metallic. And this antique silver, I love it with everything. And I used this last time and my sprayer got clogged, and that's totally 100% on me and the fact that oh, it worked. Yay. So you can see that I'm just adding a little bit of darkness. I'm trying to be really careful with this. There we go. I want to get some larger drops, and so I can just take this off and I can just drop. And that's the other thing that I like that's versatile about these. So this is kind of cool. So we have a section where I got green, more green. I got a little bit more lagoon. This is a little bit more sea glass. And this is kind of a smattering of things. And so that I'm going to leave. I think I'm going to leave that. You know what? Can I leave it? No. All right. I'm going to bring in some soft lilac. Haven't used this one yet. Just got it. And there's that bee that you can hear in there. And I'm just trying to get all that to mix up. And I want to go right over here with it. Okay, there we go. All right, so I'm going to set this guy to dry. He is kind of up there. Yeah, I know, Sue. They always get clogged. And what I'll do is I know I can unclog it with like a little bit of water and just some kind of messing in with a little toothpick in there, or I can just take it like that. I do that a lot where I just unscrew it and I just bebop it on. And that way I don't feel like I'm losing it too much. But they do. It's just, it sprays and it's ink and they're thick and it is what it is. All right. I'm going to set this aside to dry. I could take my heat tool and hit this, but I think with the other stuff I get going on, if it doesn't dry by the time I want it to, it doesn't. I'm just going to bring this a little closer so you guys can see just all that beautiful splatter and mess. And I tried to keep a little bit of just a little bit of white to tone some of that down. And learn to shake it to side and send but Tracy, how else do you get your anger out if you don't go ahead and just give that a good, huge shake? That's what I want to do, is just really, really shake that good crazy. All right, I'm going to go move over here. So we're going to start with the rest of the card while I'm waiting for my background to dry. And I don't know how many of you guys grabbed this stamp set. This came out, I think it was the summer. I think it was the summer or like September. This is called the Enjoy Life stamp set. It is pretty neat. And I like it for a couple of reasons. It has this nice like open florals, but then the sentiments, it's actually a sentiment builder. So you can see that it has these main sentiments of everyday, smile, and today. And then it has these smaller sentiments that you can stack up and build with it. And what I'm going to do today, and I love these little curly Q things because you can always use those. And Angel, thank you for putting the bundle in there, because I want to point out that it comes with a coloring stencil and a die set. I don't have the die set, but I do have the coloring stencil. So this might be one add-on, and you can see how pretty these flowers come out with the stencil. It is so pretty. I was going to use this today, but I decided not to. So I'm going to do something else that I think will be cooler. So I have a piece of vellum here. And as we know, vellum is notorious for being hard to adhere onto a project. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a piece of the double-sided adhesive. This stuff is just fabulous. And I'm going to actually take my little scrap of vellum, and I am just going to lift this up as best I can, as I am upside down. And what I'm going to do, old school fussy cousin. Yes, Saskia, you are correct. That's what I will be doing very, 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 very soon. All right. I think this will fit. All right. We'll get it right over here. I'm going to go this way with it. All right. So the way that I do this is you can see I'm trying not to get my ichor hands all over the place. And I'm just going to line this as best I can up with a corner. And I'm okay because I'm going to use this over and over again because I love using vellum for things. whether it's coloring on it or just kind of soft sentiments, anything at all. And then I'm just going to go ahead and make sure that's nicely adhered down. And then I'm just going to grab my Giganto scissors, which the kids took off my desk because they've been wrapping gifts. So here's my other pair of Giganto scissors, because you can't have just one pair of Giganto scissors. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to cut this as best I can. All right, there we go. Cut this section off. Now I have this little piece of adhesive. I'm not going to let that go. Don't worry for those of you guys who are like, no, don't waste it. And I'm just going to stick it right back on there. Okay. All right. So double-sided adhesive sheets. We're going to be back with this guy in just a moment, but he is fabulous. All right. So now I have adhesive on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to stamp one of these flowers, and I'm going to pick this one down on the bottom, and I'm going to heat emboss it with gold embossing powder. So I need my embossing ink and my stamp positioner, and I'm going to do that. All right. Oh my gosh, craft for motto, Deb? No way, home of fussy cutting. Oh, cussy cutting, yeah, because I yell while I'm doing it too. All right. So I'm going to grab this little one. And again, thank you, Angel, for reminding me. So you could also be entered to win a $15 gift card. If you could share this live while we're live, you'll be entered to win, and Angel will be posting that at the back. And thank you very much, Angel. Angel's behind the badge today. All right. So I'm just going to use up, I don't want a super ton of this. So I'm just going to do a little bit. And I need to grab my little embossing bag, and I want to make sure that there's no stray particles on this whatsoever. So give a good that, and then I have my embossing ink over here, and then I am just going to put this down and wish for the best. Now, if you're not sure, like me, I don't trust the fact that I am stamping well. I don't know what it is. It's probably all those years when I didn't have a stamp positioner. And I need to like put things down a couple of times. I could put this in like black ink and make sure, or I can use black ink. The Obsidian ink is great for that because it still will stay wet, and I can use the embossing powder with that. But I have that stamp positioner, so that's going to help me. I think I actually printed mine pretty well. All right, I have to do everything twice. And there we go. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to heat emboss this. I'm just going to grab a little piece of paper. Yes. Deb, I do the same thing. I don't just teach. I'm also a client. I am a big customer of Altenew. But as you can tell, I got a lot of stuff over here. Okay, so here is my antique gold. And I love embossing on vellum because, oh, it's just so gorgeous. And then it's so easy with the, look at that. Look how pretty. Look at that outline. Gorgeous. It's really easy with the double-sided adhesive because I'm not sitting here thinking, okay, that's great. I made this. How the heck am I going to adhere this to my project? So I can just go ahead, and I'm not going to know because the adhesive is all over the place. So there's no difference in one or the other. It's all the same. All right, so I have to do this off screen. So while I do this off screen, I'm going to treat you to my gorgeous splatter background and talk amongst yourselves now about what's your favorite way to make a background. Do you like splatter? Do you like to use inks and do ink blending? Do you like to use watercolor? What is it? Oh, Tracy, isn't it though? I love it. Embossing on vellum looks super duper fabulous. I know, Sarah. I embossing powder. It is just, it's my jam. It's still like the magic, and I think it's the science and the chemistry of it. I love it. I think it's gorgeous and looks beautiful. And I like to make thank you cards. That's probably the biggest like type of card that I make are thank you cards because I have to have them at the ready, you know. I had a student yesterday who gave me a gift, so then I was ready. I was ready to go. Oh, ink blending and stencils. What else do we have over here? Splatter. I'm getting into the splatter. Roxy, the embossing folders. Yes. And I love how you can, Altenew has the stencils. Some of them come with coordinating stencils you can color, or you know what? You can just leave it as is and have that beautiful white background. All right, so I have my little cutters here, and I'm just going to do really quickly. I don't know what it is, but like when I fussy cut, that was when I start to chastise myself and say, you know what? I probably should have bought the die. But then I fussy cut, and it's not a big deal. And it's practice makes perfect. So the more that I do this, the better I can. And then I like it too, because sometimes I like to have a wider, like this one, I'm kind of seem to be going for a little bit more of a pronounced border. Sometimes I don't want a pronounced border, and I can make those decisions when I fussy cut. And these images are actually fairly simple. There's not too much involved with this, but I probably should have bought the die. That's all right. Lesson learned. But I love the coloring stencil with this because I can keep this open like I'm doing now, or I can grab that coloring stencil and just give it a little bit of color. Or I can color it in with markers, or I can color it in with something else. Oh yeah, embossing folders. That's great. Splatter challenged. You know, Tracy, I have to agree with that statement. I am also splatter challenged because I tend to overdo it. I tend to kind of craft to excess, I think I want to say. I have that hard time of like not putting on the extra gem, of not putting on the extra thing, whatever the heck it is, glitter or sequins or what have you. Then I start to get impatient. Just go. So this is, again, not taking me super, super dupery long, but I'm just kind of cutting it right out. All right, coming over here. And I'd love to know, are you a fussy cutter, or are you like, if there's a die, my name is on it? I'd love to know that. Are you a fussy cutter? Or are you like, if there's a die, I must get the die? I kind of tend to be both. Sometimes I get the dies, and sometimes I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not going to buy it. This was obviously not the right decision here. Yeah. That's so funny, Deb. Oh, yeah, Sue, exactly. And that's what I was actually thinking about this. And then I was like, you know, if I put the adhesive on the back, because I care about the adhesive in this case, I'm like, I can't color on the back, but that's okay. All right, so here's my vellum. I'm going to move this aside so you can see how pretty this came out. And all I have to do is just peel off that release paper, and I can adhere that to my project. So that sucker's ready to go. And I'm going to move this guy out of the way for a second. And now we're going to make our sentiment. All right, so my pile of goodies over here. So now I'm going to grab that All About Thanks word die. And then what I have done, this was actually previously, but if you get a chance, this set, there's 4 in the set if you get all of them. So there's brush gold, silver, copper, and rose gold. They're all fabulous. And what I do is I grab pieces of it and I add the double-sided adhesive. So now this is ready. This is ready to go. So I can go ahead and I can grab this and I can die cut it like I'm about to do right now. So here I am grabbing this, and I don't have to fuss around. I don't have to put anything on it. I can just grab my thanks. Here's my thanks, and here's my shadow thanks. And you can see how nice and big these are. And that's why I really like them, because they really kind of take up the whole size of your card. And that's why I made such a simple background with that other piece. So here's my thanks. I'm going to go ahead and use my Altenew. Oops, sorry about that. Altenew Mini Blossom. And because I already added on that double-sided adhesive, I can do that. And Mono and Hues both, yeah. I have to say, like, I agree, Stamp the Fun up, like both, because sometimes they don't have matching dies, and sometimes I want to do something with the matching dies. And it's kind of depends. So I don't know. I kind of tend to go, I don't know. It's probably honestly dependent on sale for me, whether or not I go one or the other. All right, so here I am. I'm going to go ahead and shove this in right now. And I love the mini blossom because I tend to change my mind a lot. I'd love to know that about you guys. Are you somebody who, as you craft, you like, do you have like a straight line? Like, okay, I know I want to do this. Or do you switch things up all the time? And then you end up with like a big, huge mess like I have on my desk all the time. And then I have to go back in and clean because I can't find anything. So, die hard. That's funny, Deb. Oh my gosh. All right, so I just want to show you how gorgeous this is. And again, it already has the adhesive on the back, so I don't have to worry about it. And with this, the S likes to be a little separate, so just be mindful of that. I'm going to keep him over there, and we can see this thanks. And it didn't go through the release paper, but I don't really care. So this all ready to rock and roll. So I'm just going to pop these little guys out, and you can see how pretty, just how pretty that looks right away, just using that paper. Oh, I had a little rose gold paper there. All right, I'm just going to pop these guys out. All right, I'm just going to stick this over here, and I'm going to now, so what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to grab that vellum, if I can find it in my pile of goodness. Do you know that time when you just had that vellum in your hand and then you put it to the side and then you lost it? Yeah. Tell me about that. It's somewhere over here. Oh. All right. Oh, it's right here. Got it. I got it. I got it. All right. So here's my vellum sheet that I had before. And so I'm just going to cut this off. And I lost gigantic pieces here. Right? Oh my gosh, Deb, the story of my life too. You have no idea. All I do, like if you ever crafted with me and I was like, if you put a mic in here when I craft by myself, all you can hear is, where was that? Where did that go? I'm not sure. And you're like, yep, she lost one again. All right, so I'm just gonna, you can see, I'm just using the same exact vellum and I'm just cutting this little piece out. Have more left. Might use it later. Don't know. All right, so here's my shadow. So here I'm just going to put this right on here. And I'm just going to run this now through my machine. Okay, we're just at 4 o'clock, so this is perfect. All right, thank you, Mini Blossom. So fabulous. All right, now I'm going to leave this in here for just a second. So let me move everything over. So I'm right in the middle. And I'm going to now grab this little guy that we did before. And remember, he's got stuff on the back of him. And I'm just going to do my best to line him up and put him right where he needs to go. And once I feel good about where he is, then I can grab something in order to make sure he's really, really stuck down, like my hand. And then I'm going to grab this S, and I could like use the die and do it that way, but I have to do everything the hard way. All right, here we go. And little guy. Right, Sue? It's like, and Tracy, I know. It's like all I do is talk to myself. I think Brian will come in and he'll be like, who's in here? Is anybody in here with you? And you're like, I'm like, nope. It's just me. It's just me talking to myself, wondering where I lost the last thing. All right, so there's our thanks. So that is all ready to go. So I'm going to pop this entirely out. So it still has the release paper on the back. So I still have my release paper. And I'm just going to pop these little centers out. And isn't that just pretty? And then nice and fast. And so because it's so big, it's going to fill up a lot of our card front, which is really nice. Okay, put this guy over to the side. And that's what we're going to end up with on our little piece. So that's where that flower is going to come in. Okay, so now let's bring in our Crazy Daisy piece. This is relatively dry. There's a couple of spots on here, but you just see how pretty it looks. So now I'm going to look and see, okay, where do I want? I really love this. I'm loving this section up here. So I'm going to cut that section off. So I brought my cutter down. Here it is. And I think this might fit. Oh my gosh, how did that happen? All right, so I'm gonna cut off. Might be a little wet there. That's all right. We'll clean that up later. I need 4 1/4. Is that right? Yes. Okay, kind of fits. There's a little bit of an overlap here. Awesome. And so that's my front, and then I'm going to grab this. I think I like this better, and that is 5 1/2. Okay. So this is 5 1/2. All right, and that's my card front. And isn't that so pretty? I mean, it's nice, right? I mean, I like how it looks, and it's very, very quick, easy to come together. So in 30 minutes, we made a card front. And so we have this gorgeous card front. So here's my thanks, and you can see how nice and big that takes up. You really don't need much else. And I'm just going to add this little flower. Might even be too big. Oh, that's pretty. I like that. Okay, and that's going to be the front of it. So again, nice and simple. It has this beautiful ornate flower, and it's all going to fit. So let me go ahead and add all this on. And then we're going to add this to a card base. So we're actually going to make a card from start to finish. And I'm going to talk to you about the insides of cards today. So I want to know, that's okay, Deb, none of us can. I like that, Dorothy. Mental reassurance. I like that. I like that. Crafter, that. Love my trimmer. Yeah, you know what you can do, Deb, is take a piece of aluminum foil and use that in your trimmer. And, oh, there it goes. Gosh darn it. Release paper. That was me, not the release paper. All right, I'm going to stick that there for just a second. And try that, Deb, and that may help you with the blade if the blade is like funny. And then sometimes, depending on the trimmer, I have to like push the blade in when it comes down. And by the way, the release paper on these is actually really easy to get off. It's me because I'm live, and these things always take trouble. All right, so I just want to point out that you can't tell that there's adhesive on there, and that's the beauty of using the double-sided adhesive when you're doing this stuff. Love it. All right, so I just want to double check. Really like this in the middle. Actually, I like it right about there. I'm just going to double check. I always have to like triple check things. Oh, I like it like that, right? Nope, I like it like that. All right, I'm going to stick this guy down, and then I'm going to add my thanks right along here. Now, I have a tendency where everything is crooked, so I apologize in advance, whoever receives this card. Okay, sorry, that was a moment of me thinking. All right. So again, beautiful splatter. And I wanted to use that vellum because it's going to allow that color to come through and not be too heavy on the card. So really, really pretty. Yeah, you could try it, Tracy. I know it works with I don't know if the pressure of the machine will cut through the aluminum foil, but it may on that one. Where was I? I wanted to. Oh, it's right here. All right, so I have a card base and I have a card front. So this card front is going to be the inside of my card. And so I'm going to cut it down so it's a little bit smaller. And I'm going to grab my trimmer again. And in fact, I'm going to grab 2 insides because I have this little technique of how I make inside cards. That's pretty cute, cool. So these are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I already get them pre-cut that way. So I just take them down to my stationery store and I just get them pre-cut. So I have 2 of them here. So I'm going to do the other one as well. And I think I might have a little bit of ink on there, but that's not it. All right. Okay. So that's 2 of them. And thank you. That's what I mean, Deb. That's why I thought this was timely. I know everybody's making holiday cards right now, but I'm like, you know what? What we really need is thank you cards. We need thank you cards. All right. I grabbed 2 things of washi tape And I was leaning towards Round Art. This is Round Art washi tape, which is so pretty. But I really like this one. It's got a little too much pink in it for me, though. Do I want to use that one? All right, let's have you guys vote. Do we think Round Art or this is brush strokes? Round Art or brush strokes? I'm going to use it on the inside of my card as an accent. Round Art or brush strokes? What do you think? Round Art or brush strokes? So good for you, Tracy. All right, Sue. I know, Sue, right? I'm kind of leaning towards that. Round Art is so pretty, though. Brush strokes. We got brush. Okay, you guys. Going with brush strokes. Anybody else out there? Round Art, Round Art, Round Art. Oh, nope. Okay. All right. That's a landslide if I ever heard one. That was a landslide. Brush strokes. All right. So little bit of a tricky thing to do. You do need to make sure you're using a mat. And I grab a little bit of washi tape. I know I have that washi tape. I grab a little bit of washi tape. And all I'm doing with the washi tape is I'm just making sure that my cards are like stable. I think I had some junk on here, but that's fine. All right, so I'm just going to take my cards and I'm just abutting them. And all I'm doing here is just making sure that they're going to stay where I want them to stay. That's it. Now I'm going to take my piece of brush strokes, because this, if I used it on one card, it's too big, right? And then I don't have a place for my message. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to, as best I can, put it directly on the seam. Again, angles here. That's too far. That looks good. And I'm going to put it directly on the seam. You just got to make sure that your paper, like mine, does not move on you. There we go. I'll fix that. Don't look at that. Here it goes. Okay. All right. So now this is my edge. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Sand. Okay, Jan. I agree, Jan. I was like, Round Art. It's so pretty. I love the colors in there because I was going for blue, but I like the fact that this has the splatter. So that's why I was like, maybe I should be doing this one. So, all right. So now I can take this, and I actually like to add a little bit of, just like a little bit of like gold or some very thin washi. And I'm actually going to go with the gold on this one. And I just do it as a border. And I'm just going to butt it right next to the washi that I already have. So it's a little bit easier to line up. And it just gives it a little sparkle and a little bit of interest on the inside of the card. And very easy to do. So I'm just abutting this right up there. All right. So in just one fell swoop, or rather 3, I have made 2 inside card insides. So now I'm going to pick this up, and you can do one of 2 things with this. You can either use a pair of scissors and just cut right down the middle, or what you can do is use your trimmer. And because I think I got my trimmer dirty, I'm going to use my scissors on this one. And I just take the edges, I just fold them over. So it's making as nice a seam as possible. And nobody is going to see this side, so that's fine. And now you have this nice little section to do that with. All right, so I like to bend it so that way I can actually see what the heck I'm doing. And that's why the trimmer is a little bit easier, but my trimmer is dirty, I think. I did not clean it when I added the ink. There we go. Aha, ta-da, ta-da. So now I have 2 card insides. See? Beautiful. All right, so my favorite sentiment set to do card insides are the sentiment strip sets. And I love these. So my favorite one that I do for thank you cards is You're So Kind. If I can find it, as you can tell, it's somewhere in here. Oh, it fell. I see it. I gotta clean this. These guys need a bath bad because I use them all the time. I'm like constantly in here all the time. And what's nice about this, if you have a whole bunch of them, you can just grab your stamp positioner and you just set it up. And then because hopefully your tape is kind of in your washi's in the same position, it will work. And this is probably a little bit thicker than I normally do, but that's fine. All right. So I'm just going to put "You're So Kind" as best I can right there. I think that's straight. Yep, that's straight. All right. And I'm going to grab my obsidian. Boop. Done. See? All done. And yeah, Tracy, this is pretty washy. I love the brush strokes because I liked it because it has so many colors in it that I knew it could go with a lot of different things. And this is really where I use, if I don't use my washi as background, sometimes I'll use my washi to make like that I'll cut like die cut things out of. This is what I use my washi for. Okay, so now I'm going to assemble this as best I can, and I think I have enough time for my second card. My second one is not quite so complicated, but I think we can do it. I want to point out this one, and I apologize, Angel, this is not on the list. And by the way, if you share this while we're live, you can be entered to win a $15 gift card, and this might be one of the things that I pick up. And these are the funnest pens ever that Altenew came out with. Oh, Tracy, that's right, on tags. And this is these are fun, and they're gel pens. They write so super smooth. And when I have a lot of writing to do, this is what I do. I have to tell you that I stole these off of my kids' desks. And they are so mad because they like to do their homework with these little tulip, with these little pens. And these are calla lilies, but they're calla lily pens. So it's kind of fun because they're kind of flopping around. So and they write well. Like I'm a pen nerd. I love pens. I love all kinds of pens and ink. And I love how these write because they are just so super smooth. And I'll mix pens and stuff. So I brought them up here, and they wanted to make sure that I told everybody that these are no longer my pens and that they have to be returned immediately to their desks. And it's so funny, Deb, that you said that if you have a cat, because these have caps that get taken off, and one of the cats took the cap, and we don't know where it is in the house. So we lost a cap. So I know. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. Are you making more tags? Oh, love tags. Love tags. All right. So I'm going to grab some glue. You can use, because this is pretty thick, you could use the tape. I actually grabbed some tape here. Probably should use that. All right, Angel, I just had it, I swear. Here it is. Found it. I love this tape. I think I'm growing more and more in love with it. And I think this is the 1/4 inch. And just to give you, just to let you guys know, can you see that it says 1/4 in there? And that's what I do, because obviously you don't need the packaging anymore. And I'm not going to sit here and measure it every single time. But I write what it is on the inside plastic, and that's what I do. All right, so I'm just going to grab a little bit of this. And when I have something like this that is really thick and I've messed with it, and it might need a little bit of support and help making sure it's adhered to my card base, this is what I use. And for the inside, I like to use a dry adhesive because sometimes with the liquid, it can kind of make the paper funky. So I'll use a dry adhesive there too. But with these, because they are so lightweight and I didn't really do anything to them except add a little bit of, ink and some washi, I'm just going to use the tape, the little tape guy. I'm just going to use the little tape guy. So, oh my gosh, isn't it awesome, Sue? Oh, Deb, thanks for sharing the link. You could be entered to win $15. And I have to say, put those calla lily pens on your wish list. They're just fun. And I enjoy writing cards, but sometimes, you got a lot of cards to do and you're like, I think I just need a little bit of fun. And that can definitely get you the fun because they're just fun to use. And again, if you have a cat, watch out because your cat will be fighting you for those pens. So, hi, Shamar. How are you doing? And Sue, the 1 inch, that's the one I thought I had it, but I didn't, and I haven't bought it yet. So that's on my shopping list, is to get that. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to peel. So you guys get to watch me peel. This is very ASMR, I know. And I have to say, I hate release paper because I never can catch it. And with this Altenew tape, it's so easy to grab. So super easy. And this is the 1/4 inch. So it's a little bit thinner. I have the 1/2 inch. It just was in a different area. And this is the first one that I grabbed. And just very sticky, I gotta say. This stuff stays. And this is thick watercolor paper, and I've messed with it. And this will stay right on there. All right, easy way. Upside down. Have it up, have it up. Don't do that. You can also add a little bit of glue if you want a little bit of play, but this is what I do. And then if there's any extra hanging over, I just cut it off. Okay, here we go. So beautiful, right? So pretty. All right, then I'm going to grab my You're So Kind, and I'm just going to grab my tape runner, put this right on there. I think I over tape. I'm one of those. Again, I have to do things to excess. All right, and then I'm just going to add this right in. Now, because I cut this with a 1/4 inch border, I'm going to make sure that I do my best to line that up. So I got a 1/4 inch border. So one corner goes down, and then that's it. And then you have this beautiful card. And then that's it. So that's start to finish. Thank you card. And that was 45 minutes because I talked too much. All right. So I'm going to quickly do the second card. I think I can make it. And for my background, because I'm still going to use my thanks thing, I'm going to use this. It's called the block stencil. And so this is where we took that very large thanks and we added a floral element. Now I'm going to do a graphic element with it. That beautiful washi is not showing up the website. No. Did you check the link? Angel put the link in for the brush strokes washi. All right, I needed you. So what I want to do, I don't want to do the whole entire panel. What I want to do instead is I want to tape off a section, and I'm going to have my thanks going across that section. So I'm just going to grab this, and I'm going to create a as best as I can. In fact, I'm going to grab my tape and just make sure my paper is stuck. And I'm just going to make a border. And I want my border to be here. Okay. And that's the nice thing about masking paper. I also could have cut out a square of the masking paper, and I could have done it that way, but I'm going to do it this way. This is easy too, especially if you have grid, like this grid map is mat is great because those lines all line up. And then I like the fact that the middle has the place for my card. That actually fits an A2 card. So I like that. Okay, I want to go here. And I'm just making a little rectangle. And I'm going to go right here. Okay. And one more in. Yep, that looks good. Okay, so now I have that marked off. So now I'm going to take this. And the way the block builder stencil works, better to put more tape, right? Thanks, Dorothy. Is you can, depending on what you want this to look like, you can do a whole bunch of things. And it will tell you, it gives you directions about how to use the stencils and how to rotate them. And so whenever I get my stencils, I mark them up. So you can see this is stencil 2 and this is stencil 1 because I have a hard time seeing the numbers and whatnot. So I'm just going to start here and I'm going to go ahead and put this down. I should have enough washi tape around here. And this washi tape, it gets used and used and used over and over again. So don't throw those pieces away. They work really, really well. All right, I wanted to use, because I'm in this like blue-green kind of deal right now, and I like these little mini blending brushes. I'm going to grab this. This is from the Jewel Tones ink set, and I'm going to grab this Tanzanite. It's nice, pretty blue. And it's dark, right? This is meant to be dark. It's just to show you guys. So how dark that is. But I want it to be a little bit light. So I'm going to, on my paper, I'm just going to kind of take some off. Starting off, and then I'm just going to stencil this on. But I love the intense color of this. And this is the Tanzanite. So pretty. Love this blue. I'm trying to use more of the jewel tones colors because they are so pretty. I do like them a lot. I don't always grab for them, but they are nice. And I'm going to mix this with the Frozen Delights. And I'll show you what I'm going to do with that in a second. And again, I'm just kind of creating a base. So this is a little bit more of my graphic background versus having the floral background of the first card. And I'm just doing a little bit of a section on it, which is, that's all I really need. Okay, so stencil 1, rotate 180 degrees, ink. And with this, what's neat that you can do is you can just kind of keep going with this. Actually, I think I'm going to do this one. So that's stencil 1, ink, stencil 2, reposition to the right, and ink both stencils with opposite colors. All right, let me see, where'd stencil 2 go? Reposition to the right. Okay, I think this is going to work. I lost my tape. All right. Does anybody have this stencil? It's super neat. And I love how you can kind of play around with it. Okay, nope, I'm going to do this one. Stencil 1, ink, rotate 180 degrees. Rotate 180 degrees. That's 90. This is 180. Okay. All right. So now I want to grab this green onyx. And I'm just going to get this one. And I'm going to go right in here with the green. Again, I'm in this blue and green kick. Don't know why. Might be wintertime. Not so super sure. Is anybody else on a color kick that they kind of seem to be reaching for the same colors? So, yes. Sue, no. Okay. Yeah, this one's neat. I like these builder stencils because you can do so much with it. And I like it for just a little bit of graphic. You know, you can just kind of mess around with it and see what you can get. So that's just the 2 of them. And now you bring in stencil 2. So we're going to bring stencil 2 in. And we're going to ink that up. And this time I'm going to move over to the Frozen Delights. Lost my tape again. And I'm going to grab Blueberry. And I'm going to grab Mint Chai from this. All right, here's Blueberry. Really, Leslie? Sunrise, sunset colors. That's good, though, because you know what you like, and you just kind of keep going with that. I think that's good. Sometimes I mess around. Sometimes I'm like, I just need to do something different. And then other times I'm like, I just need to get all of the blue and green that I have going and swirling in my head around me. And today, if you're just joining us, if you share this while we're live, and I think you got about 6 minutes, you'll be entered to win a $15 gift card. Angel is behind the badge today, putting in all of the lovely links for the things that I'm using. And then I'm going to rotate this 180 degrees, and that's going to be this side. And this time I'm going to use, where'd that guy go? I'm going to use Mint Chai. Okay, let's get this off. You will be entered to win a $15 gift card. Oh, pinks and purples, Tracy. Yeah. Oh, somebody's angry out there. So sometimes I stick with the same thing. So again, we're talking thank you cards because this is kind of the season of giving. So I'm trying to I usually use this time to reflect and to give thanks, and to give thanks to all you wonderful people out there in the crafting community, to all of my friends that I've met, to Altenew itself, that they have done just an amazing job of building a community and just making a really super enjoyable place for us to craft and connect with each other. So we're making thank you cards. And this one has a little bit of a geographic tint to it. And this is why I love using that masking paper, because I don't have to, I think, oh, like if I did this all over, it looks cool, but it's a lot. So I like to just use it just on a little bit. And so now I have this really neat focus. And in fact, I'm going to cut this down just a little bit on this side. Hopefully that has dried. So that's now cut at 5 1/4. I think this was too big, my section. I think I'm going to regret that, but that's okay. 1/2 that way and 1/2 this way. Okay, that looks pretty cool. Okay, so now that's with the block stencil. And again, I have a card base. Ta-da! So I can put this right on here. And now I'm going to add my sentiment, which is coming from the thanks, all about thanks set. So I'm going to grab that again. Do you remember that we had that piece that was brushed metallic gold? Well, this time, because this needs some zazz, I'm going to use, and I'm going to show this to you guys. Oh, thanks, Meg. I bought this little container, and I've been keeping my little Altenew papers in here. And I'm going to grab, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I was going to actually go for the gilded, because I think that gold would look really cool on there, but I think the blue might be neat. We should go out on a limb and do the dark blue. Look at that sucker. Woohoo. I'm going to go back to gilded. All right, so I'm going to grab, so from the gilded set, I'm going to grab some of my glitter cardstock, and I think this will work. Now I got to find that die. I really did put it in a special place. And again, it's great to have just a little bit of that double-sided adhesive, so then I don't have to sit there and have to worry about it. Haha, knew I had it. And so I'm just going to stick this right in here. I think I have a little bit of that adhesive left. I do. That's on vellum. Right over here. Here it is. I buried it under a couple of things. All right, so I'm going to grab this because this thanks works here. So I'm just going to cut out that part, and I'm just going to stick it onto my double-sided adhesive so I don't have to deal with it and having to try to glue everything down. Beautiful. Okay, so I'm just going to stick this here. And I know this looks a little awkward, but we're going to make it work. So again, same thing. I just pull part of that back, making sure that my die is on there. And then I'm just going to stick it right on. There we go. And that's going to be beautiful. And I know I have a little bit of washi tape left. So just to make sure that my thanks does not go anywhere. And I'm just going to cut this section off. And I got way too much extra, so I'm just going to pull this off of here. All right, so I can actually roll this through the mini blossom. And I'm just out of time, so we are doing well. So I want to hear, as we're kind of wrapping up here, what are the things you're going to be thankful for? Are you out there making thank you cards? Have you made thank you cards? What are those things that you are thankful for today? Oh my gosh, Deb, isn't it though? It's the best. I love it. And I'm actually going to use this guy today as well. Because this is a little thick, so I want to make sure I get it through where I want it to go through. So I'm going to use the shim on this guy. Oh, thanks, Sharon. We once I get this together, I hope you like it. Hey, Avril. Thankful for my Saturday friends. Tracy, isn't that the best community? Absolutely wonderful. And we also have that mindfulness retreat. Don't forget about that. It has progressive pricing. So you want to get in earlier rather than later to get the best discount. You want to get in there earlier rather than later. Friends and family in good weather. I agree, Meg, especially if you're in the United States, we got something coming our way. Not happy about some sort of weather system. Okay, that's there. And then I wanted to grab a little bit of black cardstock, and I'm going to go ahead and die cut out this larger background on that from that All About Thanks die set. And Saskia's with me, I know. She doesn't mind that I'm going a couple minutes over. Okay. And I'm just going to shove this one through, and then I'll put it together for you guys. And we got 2 cards. And again, this is start to finish. So I showed you, if you missed it, you can go back in the replay, but I showed you how to make the inside of a card as well. Because I always like to inside too. I don't know what it is. I know it's an extra step and it takes a little bit of extra time, but I think it really helps a lot. All right, so here's my background. So this is what this is going to look like. So I have this very pretty card that we did, and that is our inside. This is going to be my back of it, and then I'm going to take out this gorgeous glitter thanks, and I'm not going to worry about the S yet, and I'm just going to stick this right on here. And you could use vellum. I could have used vellum, but this time I thought the black would be kind of neat. You can even, I could have done it the other way where I had gold and then white on top of it. That would have been cool. And that is that. So that is so pretty. So we have 2 cards today. One was with a floral, and the other one is with a little bit more of a geometric. But you can see how that All About Thanks die set, that it really helps a lot because of the size of it. And I find it, I happen to grab it a lot. I do actually end up grabbing it a lot. So I want to say thank you all so much. Thank you all so much. And thank you, Angel, for being behind the badge. And thank you to Altenew for just building this amazing space for us to craft and to connect. And I just wanted to say how thankful I am for all of you for tuning in to Amy's Inspiration Station. And we love to see what you do. So please hashtag us Altenew on social media with what you guys make. So thank you so much. And yes, Deb, those larger word dies are the best. So happy holidays. Thank you. I want to see your cards. So please hashtag us. Thank you so much. And I hope everybody has a great afternoon. All right. Bye.